everyone, it's Lisa from A Simple Season. North Americans waste a lot of food, and I remember reading a statistic recently saying that almost 30% of our food sometimes gets wasted. And with inflation sitting at 40-year high right now, I think it's a good idea if we can get a handle of some of that food waste and reduce it so that we can get the most out of our grocery budget. And I've compiled a list for you of some things that you might be throwing out, and I'm going to show you some new ways to use it. So let's get started. The last little bit of peanut butter is always hard to get out of the jar, so I'll show you what to do with that. I've heated up 1 1/4 cups of milk, so just so that it's nice and warm. Now I'm going to put the lid on the peanut butter jar, and I'm going to give it a shake so that the peanut butter gets loosened from the sides. Now that I've shaken up the milk in the peanut butter jar, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of whole flake oats. You can use instant if you like as well. I'm going to again mix it up, put the lid on, and I'm going to pop this in the fridge overnight for some delicious peanut butter overnight oats. The other thing I have here is a jar of mustard that is almost completely empty. So in the past, I would just take the jar of mustard, wash it out, and recycle the jar. But now, not so fast. I'm going to take this jar of mustard and I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of oil. I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of vinegar, a splash of soy sauce, and I've got about a teaspoon of maple syrup. Pop that in. Then I'm going to put on the lid and give the whole thing a shake. Now I've got an amazingly delicious salad dressing, and I can keep it in the fridge and have that ready when I need it. If you have some stale bread, don't throw it out. I'll show you something amazing you can make with it. So just take your stale bread and cut it up into slices like this so that you've got these nice little strips. Next, put your bread strips in a bowl and just put in a few tablespoons of olive oil. Sprinkle with a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, some pepper, a little bit of Italian seasoning. And you don't have to add this in because they're great just like this, but I like to add a little bit of either Parmesan or Grana Padano cheese and toss that in also. And then just toss it all together so that it's all well coated. You might have to add a tiny bit more olive oil just to make sure everything has got a nice coating on it. And now that that's all combined, we're gonna put this on a parchment lined cookie sheet and we're gonna bake it in the oven at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, and we're gonna flip them halfway through and then they'll be done. And that's what they look like when they're done, and you can have these on their own as a snack, or if you serve them up with a Caesar salad, it tastes amazing. And you can do something similar with broccoli stalks. You can make broccoli fries. So just take your broccoli stalks, cut them into French fry shapes, put them in a bowl with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and some seasoning, and bake them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and you'll get some great broccoli fries. Now this one looks like a little bit of a science experiment, but if you have leftover banana peels, put them in a mason jar and fill the mason jar up with water and set it aside to sit for 4 or 5 days. After that, take that water and give it to your houseplants. They will get a wonderful potassium boost and they will love you for it. The next thing is sour milk or cream. Now when I say sour milk, I don't mean curdled and smelling terrible. I mean a few days past the date, it's just starting to go off. Use it to whip up a batch of pancakes or throw it into a cake recipe and it'll work out great. Also, don't throw out leftover pickle juice. You can add a couple of tablespoons to macaroni salad, potato salad, tuna salad, anything where you would add pickles, or you can use it in place of vinegar for salad dressings. And the other thing you can do with it is take some chopped onions, pop it in your pickle juice, and then add in a few hard-boiled eggs. Make sure the eggs are completely covered by the juice. Pop them in the fridge and enjoy after a few days. And you will have awesome pickled eggs. And if you're not a fan of pickled eggs, you can use the pickle juice for grated carrot as well. Just pop it in there. You can use green beans. As long as it's all submerged under the pickle juice, you just put the lid on, keep it in the fridge for a few days, and now you have a delicious, wonderful topping for a salad, or you can use it as a little side dish as part of a charcuterie board as well. Another good thing to save and not throw out is bacon grease. And as you can see, I have some just stored away in a little mason jar here. And the great thing about bacon grease is that you can keep it for about 6 months if you keep it in the fridge. And you can use it for so many things. You can use it in place of some of the butter for mashed potatoes. You can use it when you're roasting vegetables or caramelizing onions. You can use it for grilled cheese sandwiches. And if you use this when you make fried rice, it will make your fried rice taste absolutely amazing. And if you strain out some of the meat and just have the fat, you can also use that to make pie crust. So don't get rid of your bacon grease, save it and use it. Don't forget to save all of your veggie ends. So carrot peelings, potato peelings, onion skins, celery ends. Just put them in a Ziploc bag to make veggie stock. So pop it in the freezer, and when the bag is full, just add it in a stock pot with a few cups of water, some salt, some pepper, maybe a bouillon cube if you like, and you will have some delicious, homemade, nutritious veggie stock. Also, if you have leftover coffee, you can freeze it in an ice cube tray to cool down a cup of hot cocoa that's too hot to drink. You can pour a half a cup of it into a pot of chili, and it will cut through the thickness of the chili, and the acidity of the coffee will also bring out the flavor of the beans and the beef in the chili, so it's a great addition. And you can also add a few tablespoons of leftover coffee to a chocolate cake or a brownie mix to bring out a nice, deep, rich flavor. Also, your acid-loving plants like your camellias, azaleas, roses, rhododendrons, blueberries will all love to get your coffee grounds every once in a while. So go ahead and boop the like button if you got some value out of this list, and hopefully some of these tips will have helped your grocery budget go a little bit further and help reduce your food waste. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. Stay well, and we'll catch you in the next one.